So, and who else were some of your heroes? Would you
The
also
Freddie
look across
Foreman.
like a Gotti or some of those names
Yeah,
as
of
well?
course, yeah. This is what happened.
You kind of have a little bit of the.
I'm going to tell you
know,
something. I'll tell you something that happened to me, right? I'll tell you how I grew. Slipping back. We're going back now and where I started, right? After I wrote the book, Stop the Ride, I Want to Get Off, and it all come out about me wearing the f***ing court jesters
Joker,
outfit.
yeah,
to call it.
yeah.
I then get an invite to go to Sicily to do a private audience with for 25 businessmen in their villa with 5 interpreters for $5,000. So me and him goes to Sicily, yeah? And we gets there, and it's the f***ing, we only see them on telly, yeah, the mafia. We come from f***ing Peckham, mate, you know what I mean? Yeah, we think we're bad, but we only see that on the telly, yeah? But these are the bad ones. And it was Berlusconi, before he was Prime Minister, and all these other people that I didn't know who they were. It was f***ing mental for me. And he was talking in broken English, which makes it all sound gangstery to us, you understand what I mean? Hey, Davey, don't talk to me about gangster, boy. I know 1 million, he sounded like that, I know 1 million bank robbers. I know 1 million murderers. I don't know any man that's going to court dressed like that, punched a copper in the face before he was sentenced. I said, F you. Tell me about that day, he said, because there is an unwritten rule book about going to court, and that goes around the whole world, right? Apart from the Cosa Nostra. And I'll tell you why. When it says, first rule, do not bring all your friends with you. It says, wear a nice suit. Yes sir, no sir, please and thank you. And a letter from someone that's known you 20 years saying you're a nice guy. They're the f***ing rules of going to court in whatever country you go to. The only people that don't have to abide by them is us. Because the judge knows it's John Gotti. It's not worth him coming in being all f***ing nice like that, and yeah? Because he knows exactly what he is and who he is out there. So they come into court gangster, right? They come into court like lumps in their pocket and f*** knows what else. And he went, the only person I've ever seen do that is you, mate. He went, so you tell me what made you go court like that with all your friends, walking bash the copper dressed as a clown. Tell me that day, I'll give you your money and f*** off, yeah? So I've told him that day, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I must have done all right, because when I come home, he's now ended up being the Prime Minister, bloke. And the Italian bookshelf for true crime is the smallest bookshelf in the world, in any other country.
Interesting.
Right? Because they got the f***ing mafia there. They're not interested in Craig Twin, the great train robber, the Yardy thing, yeah? They've got the mafia in at the corner of Rome bookshop. Yeah, so they haven't got all the other different nationality ones like we have. Well, I ended up getting my book in there, which I thought was f***ing really great. Only because Berlusconi had then gone on, he's got his publishers.
Your book made it there.
Yeah, I've got it in Italian. So then the Gambinos. Right? What happened after that? They're all doing their little bit of talking. Then Jay-Z put my picture on the cover of his album on Blueprint. I spoke to the Oxford Union and they wrote a book about it, and he thought that was really f***ing funny, a convicted felon teaching future Parliament how to behave, yeah? Dave Courtney is talking to the Oxford Union on how to f***ing behave. That is funny, yeah? Educatedly funny. So he put my photo of the Oxford Union with his head on it and called it Blueprint. So I'm sitting there talking to future Parliament, and he's put his head on it. So that's happened, so all that's being talked about. There's a book out about it. And the Gambinos, their family, I don't know who they were, how high up they were, but when they come over here, they have a 6-week vacation, they travel Europe, don't they? So they're all going around Europe, and they've got in touch with Freddie Foreman, who is a superior in the crime world to me, yeah? And said, we want to go to the Ministry of Sound. Well, that was my doorman. So he goes, Dave, listen, I've got some young American kids over here, right? Don't want to go to the Ministry of Sound. He said, I'm too f***ing old for all that bollocks, right? Would you look after them for me, you know? I said, yeah, of course I will, Fred, no problem. Tell them to come round my house. So these young f***ing kids come round my house. There's two, like, they weren't lumps, but they weren't their dad and they were too old to be their friends, yeah? You know, like, So they've had a wicked time at my house. I'm having a laugh and they're joking, they had a little puff and they couldn't show him. And, oh, wow, they've gone to the Ministry of Sound, they've had a f***ing wicked night. Didn't want to go back to the hotel, stayed the night in my house. I've got a big old house. Had a f***ing great time. So by the time they go back to whatever mum and dad they got there, they're going, Dave, yeah? Dave's doing all right out there in America at the moment anyway, with all the other little things, the f***ing Jay-Z and Rancid. I don't know if you've heard of the band Rancid. One of their tracks on their album. So I've got the the naughtiest white guys singing about Dave Courtney in America. I've got the naughtiest black guys singing about Dave Courtney in America. I've got the Gambino's kids all going, he's f***ing lovely. I've got the mafia bloke who ended up being the Prime Minister of Italy going, good book, good f***ing book. Right? So now we're all going over to America. Right? Now we're going over there to do some, what was you going over there for?
The Virgin.
Oh, for the Virgin, for the book thing. And I ended up not selling it in America because I had a f***ing picture of me smoking a cigar on the cover. And because the cigar was on the cover.
And they were not comfortable with that?
Yeah, it was like promoting smoking. I was like,
interesting.
Fucking hell, man. Anyway, by the time he gets over there, the Gambino people had heard I was coming. He's my pal, but he's a coward, yeah? He's brave in other things, but he's a coward, right? But I live with him, he's beautiful, but the fighting thing and the gangster thing really ain't his cup of tea, right? And so we get to the f***ing airport, and these two blokes come over to us, and I'm with a few of us, weren't there? And he goes, Mr. Courtney, I'm going to have to separate you from your company at the moment, but there's some very important people that need to say hello to you. It won't take a long time. So I'm ready to start screaming so they couldn't take me away. Help me, help me, so I couldn't get killed, you understand what I mean? He's going, that's all right, mate, yeah, off you go, take him. And I'm like, sweet, see you later, Dave. Like, you know, that's what he's doing to me. But it's just Gambino he lot, and they're taking me around to meet all these people I've never met before, old men smelling a little bit like tomatoes, all going, looking at old black and white pictures. I didn't know anyone, but I looked after their kids, and blah, 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 and all things like that, yeah, their grandkids and all that. Drops him back to the hotel, they're all coming out of the hotel, they're going now to Jay-Z's club. So we're going to Jay-Z's club, we don't know what it is. So the driver who's got come in the car goes, I'll take you there. He went, I don't know where it is, I'll take you. So he takes us now to Jay-Z's club. I'm going to him, fucking hell, it's fucking Gambino, you know. Like, I'm being honest with you, I'm buzzing on it, right? I'm not saying I'm one of them, I'm not I'm not the best shot, I'm not the best one, I'm not. Scary phone book, that's my game, yeah, and I made you laugh one mate, right? So he then goes, I'll take you. So he gets us to this fucking club, there's a big load of queue going up this side, and a big queue going up that side. And these doormen, English people don't come that big. I don't know where you Americans get black men that big. I don't know how the f that happens. Like, they must really hurt their mum coming out. They must really hurt their mum. Because it's like, me, man, how the f is that for real? You know, I can't imagine that.
This is in New York?
In New York, yeah. It's just f***ing crazy. Anyway, so then he pulls up and he goes, wait a minute. And he just runs up the stairs, talks to the doorman and goes, and they went, no, come up. So when we come up and he just let me straight in, and I was going to go and hang my coat up. So where can I put my coat? He said, I'll just give it that man over there. And as I'm walking up to him to give him my coat, his back turned. And he's talking and he goes, I don't know who the f they are, man. I don't know who the... He goes, but if he's got the Gambinos dropping him off here as a cab, I'm f***ing being nice to the guy. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, and it just sort of grew from something that was like a trick, not a trick, you know what I mean? Like, all of that happened in a... I couldn't have planned it. I couldn't have planned all of that. Going to Sicily, getting my book out over there. Jay-Z put me on the cover of his thing. Gambino's taking the... I couldn't have planned all that, you know what I mean? You couldn't... But it ended up like that.
That's amazing.